Hello and welcome to Thaiger Bites. I'm Jay and joining me from Phuket is Tim Newton.
Hi everybody, thank you for joining us. A beautiful day in Phuket, and I've had a quick wardrobe change to an unironed shirt. I was thinking, will I turn the iron? No, I won't. So here it is.
And it's a cloudy, musky day in Bangkok and you're watching Thaiger Bites. This is where we get to address your comments and feedback from our shows on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, as well as the Thaiger Talk forum on our website. You can also send us video messages now on bites@thethaiger.com. That is BITES, bites@thethaiger.com. So let's start off today with one of our video messages from Mike, who sends us another update from the Isaan Mountains.
Good morning, Tim. Good morning, Jay. Maybe it's afternoon for you guys, but this is Mike Freerider, and here I'm sharing Cave Soda Waterfall from behind me. Not much water because it is the dry season, and just to prove to you again that there are lots of mountains in Isaan. So, and this is in Royet province. So I'm exceeding 20 seconds, so have a great day, because I am.
Thank you for that message, Mike. Yes, I am now 100% in belief that Isaan does have mountains. Was it me or you that ever said that Isaan doesn't have any mountains?
No, well, it is largely a fairly flat area, but of course there are some hills there. I wouldn't really go so far as calling them mountains. But look, obviously it's a very pretty area, and Mike is on the pay, I'd say, from the TAT, pumping up the Isaan tourism, the attractions there. So certainly, yeah, we're going to come up there at some stage and look more into what Isaan has to offer.
All right, thank you for that message, Mike. Moving on to Peter, who's gone full Mr. Roboto on us. He's got a message from Andrea Bocelli.
Andrea Bocelli, do you think he is coming? It doesn't look like it. Well, his website says otherwise.
Way to rub it in, Peter. Way to rub it in. I thought we were on the same team. However, there's still hope. There's still hope. Andrea Bocelli
hope at all.
might
and I just
make
want to
it.
remind you, Jay, that the 1,000 baht note is the brown one. So don't try and pass off anything and add another zero. I'm not that stupid.
I love how, like, you know, the TAT's gone really quiet about Andrea Bocelli, haven't they? They're just trying to hide and be as quiet as possible about this. However, I still believe, Andrea Bocelli, if you're listening to the GMT podcast, which you can now on Spotify as well as Apple, please come. All right, moving on to another video from Frank, who's got another update. This is from the famous Frank and Rung. They are now in Thailand, up to their usual shenanigans. Here's an update from Frank.
Hi Tim, Jay. Rung's asleep. She didn't want me to film this, but for coffee culture's sake, I thought I'd do it anyway. We're still in Bangkok. We're still near to you. And until the next time, it's bye for now.
Thank you for that message.
Nothing to say. Poor old Rung, that's all I can say.
Right. Thank you for that message, Frank. And our last video message today is from Friedrich. I hope I've pronounced that right. Thank you for your message, Friedrich. Here it is.
Well, hello, this is Friedrich, or Friedrich for the Anglophiles. Just wanted to say thank you for producing such an entertaining news show that has become part of my morning routine every morning. And secondly, thank you to your set decorators that have given me wonderful inspiration for set decoration, such as lots of plastic plants, empty cereal boxes, and an empty mug of coffee to make me think of going to coffeeculture.asia.com to have wonderful flavors of coffee. Thank you.
Wow, quite a setup you've got there, Friedrich. Very, very into Thai culture, I see. Good for you.
Yeah, thank you very much for reminding us about our fake plants and our empty coffee cups. The reason we've got the cornflakes packets around for Good Morning Thailand is simply to remind people that it is sort of meant to be a good morning show. And we're trying to sort of theme it a bit that way. So we're doing our best. We will spend some money on props at some stage.
Yep.
Not soon, though, I'm sure.
Yeah, and also for all of you commenting that we don't put coffee in our mugs, we do put coffee in our mugs, we just also drink them. So by the time we get on air, we've already had 2 to 3 cups. There's only so much coffee a man can take. Right, let's move on to our comments from our shows. My first comment here is from Bill H, who says, "Shh, we don't want the Isaan region to be invaded with busloads of tourists. Little do folks realize that top-notch, trendy boutique restaurants and hotels are found in or near major Isaan province cities." Bill H, he's got a point there. If they promote it long and hard, people will show up. Do you really want that?
Well, I mean, all we want is a 10% commission for sending them all there.
Of course,
Simple.
that's it. That's all we ask for. That's not a lot.
Chris Rogers sends us a message and he says, Khao Road can open and police turn a blind eye. This is why Thailand is so wrong. I'm no goody two-shoes, but the corruption that goes on in this country is beyond belief. So the government don't vet your channel. It's an interesting question. Do the government bother watching our channel? They probably don't, because there's a lot more of Thai media that's of immediate concern to them. Whether they bother getting to any of the English-speaking channels, I don't know. But we sort of try and behave ourselves anyway.
All right. I've got a comment here from Martin P, who says, even though the activities at Khao Road are openly flouting the rules, it will now be interesting if this leads to COVID infection clusters. Martin P, I see what you're trying to say there. Yes, initially I thought it would be with the reopening. However, looking at the activities in Khao Road, it's hard to imagine a cluster not happening. Hopefully it doesn't, but a concern nonetheless.
Yeah, look, a lot of people sometimes ask us, well, what's this link between alcohol and COVID-19? Well, in Thailand, there has been a very direct link. It's always been these clusters where people get together, they start drinking, the inhibitions come down, whatever happens, and these people get into close contact. This is where a lot of the COVID outbreaks have come from. So I am absolutely sure they'll be watching very carefully the clusters around Tonglo, Ekamai, those bars that caused the third wave. Are we going to have a Khao Road-driven wave? We're yet to see.
Right.
I've got one here from DJIAP. Not sure how to pronounce that.
I thought you were going to... I thought you were going to shout, DJ Khaled. Does that ring a bell to you?
The only truly dangerous virus is called government. The dogs in uniform that protect the government are the dogs of Satan. Satan has invented this history of COVID. I think he might mean hysteria. Everything is false from A to Z. Satan doesn't want tourism to come back. So if the TAT are looking at someone to blame, now at least they can blame Satan.
Right. Brian Robson has a comment here, says, 6,000 baht, not very much. It's half a month's salary for many Thais, and they are the very same people who own and use these vehicles. I think Brian is talking about the 6,000 baht fine that the government will give out to people using cars with old engines producing a lot of smoke and therefore a lot of pollution. Now, we were talking about this yesterday in Good Morning Thailand with Natty, and Natty commented that 6,000 baht is not a lot. Brian disagrees. However, Brian, I'd like to say I agree that 6,000 baht is almost half a salary of some people who are most probably driving such old vehicles. However, I agree with Natty and say that stronger measures need to be taken. 6,000. If it was 20,000 baht, double of someone's salary, they're less likely to ever do it, or they'd think about it at least 50 times before they do take that vehicle out. That's the only way to stop the problem. Now, is it fair? Should they do it? We can debate about this all day long. But yeah, I agree. 6,000 baht is still quite low, in my opinion.
We've got one here from Frederick, and Frederick says, very simply, thanks for the update. You're my main Thai source. Keep up the good work. Regards, Frederick. So thank you for that nice message. We don't get many of them, so we're happy to read them out when we do.
Thank you, Fred. Captain Saveo says, spot on, Nettie, about the rise in plastic and trash. It's grown everywhere, not just in Thailand. The idiots that run my country are always talking about going green, but their stupid COVID policies have only increased trash and pollution. Captain Saveo, you are quite right, good sir. Unfortunately, one of the drawbacks of COVID, a lot of people had to, order home food and food deliveries, which increased trash and pollution to a whole new level. And unfortunately, in Thailand, we do heavily rely on plastic bags, plastic straws, plastic items. So unless we get rid of this and go more green, we're in trouble.
Got one here from Tony, and this is about the current alcohol ban and the fact that Pattaya in the province of Chonburi is in a particularly bad position because they're not even allowed to have alcohol at restaurants. He says, very sad that Pattaya is being discriminated about selling alcohol. The government thinks it's okay to have thousands of people drinking and partying and no social distancing on Pattaya Beach, but single out restaurants and bars. Just feel sorry for the Thai people who rely on tourism in Pattaya. Thank you very much, Tony.
All right. I've got another positive comment here, Tim. Hey, from Chad, who says, you guys are doing such a great job of diversifying your content. There's something for everyone. These videos are so much fun. Love the news-focused ones as well as the documentaries. Thank you, Chad, for taking a moment to appreciate the work that we're doing. Just like to take this opportunity to thank the whole Thaiger team. We have been working on documentaries. We have been working on fun videos, fun challenges, docu-series, as well as, obviously, we always focus on our news content as usual. We've got Thailand Top Stories in the morning, Thailand News Today in the evening, as well as Good Morning Thailand, which is a news talk show, as well as other topics. So, yeah, thank you very much.
I've got one here from Kevin Carr, and talking about the video yesterday we showed on Good Morning Thailand with a rather packed Khao San Road, a lot of people not wearing masks, and it appears may have been drinking alcoholic beverages. He says, nothing like hanging out at a packed bar during a pandemic. Screw Khao San and the hippies. Thank you, Kevin Carr.
Oh God. Okay, he's let us tell us how you really feel. Okay, Agnit Brahma talking about the spice challenge that happened over the weekend, where I was absolutely abused by one Natalie Warisa. Agnit Brahma says, this reminds me of the time when I insisted on regular level of spice for my somtam and literally went blind for 5 seconds after my first bite. Lesson learned. Yes, Agnit, I agree with you. Lessons were learned indeed.
I can actually talk about another challenge I did. This is probably 6 or 7 years ago when people were talking a lot about the MSG in Thai food. So I got 6 people together and we put 3 people on one side of the table, 3 people on the other. And we told the 3 people on one side that they were given food with MSG in it, and the people on the other side that the food didn't have any MSG in it, just to see what their reactions would be. And the people who were told that they were eating food with MSG all started complaining that they had symptoms. Some their temperature was going, some were having problems breathing. But the twist was that we actually switched the meal. So the people who were complaining about the MSG, their food didn't have MSG in it at all. Ooh. So we're not exactly sure about a lot of the hype related to MSG, but that was our little tiny unscientific test here in Thailand. I've got another one here from DJ Skipper. Can I read it out?
Yes, please.
So he says, I'm struggling with the answers to a few questions which will significantly affect my decision on whether to go to Thailand. I accept the strict letter of the law is that masks must be worn outside at all times. But is this being enforced around the hotel pools? What's the situation on beaches? Are masks being worn or not? Jay, I might let you have an answer of that, and I can throw in a few comments later.
Are masks being worn at the beaches?
And at the pools?
In my experience, the ones from my friends that are going out and what I've seen, people wear the mask to the beach, but once they're at the beach in their own area, just sitting and suntanning, they remove the mask. Nobody's going to come and force you to wear a mask when you're actually sunbathing in the middle of the beach. Yeah.
Well, I think it all comes down to a certain amount of common sense. If you are out and about and there's a lot of people around, it's really up to you to put your mask on because, one, it's the law and it's a courtesy to the other Thai people who are trying to do the right thing as well.
Yeah.
So no matter what you think about masks, if you come to Thailand, you should obey the law, and also don't be surprised if you don't wear a mask, if you get some funny looks, or worst case scenario, somebody in a brown uniform comes up and arrests you. So that would be my answer.
Guys, and I'd just like it to be noted, it might sound ridiculous, however, if you're walking out on the street or traveling to, let's say, for example, a bar, you're supposed to be wearing a mask. But once you actually enter the bar, you'll notice that you, as well as everyone at the bar, they're not actually wearing a mask. And that applies for beaches, that applies for many public parks and areas. People like to take off the mask once they've actually found a spot to hang out. Because you're surrounded by people who are like-minded and they want to have a good experience as well. So, yeah, that's how it is. All right, my last comment here is from Arthur Lee, talking about the Spice Challenge again, says, Tim Newton couldn't have possibly done the challenge as it would have rendered him speechless, which would have been bad TV. Or on second thought, could have been great TV. I agree with you, Arthur Lee. I tried my best to get Tim onto that show. I promise you I did. And I will eventually get him on that show someday or the other.
Well, the truth is, he's actually right. One bite of what you guys were eating and I would have been in hospital. I'm happy to admit that. And spice is not my strong suit. So congratulations to you, Jay, for having a go. But you were dead before it even started. There's no way you were going to win that.
I think you made the smart choice, Tim. You have a lot of wisdom. And yeah, you definitely made the right decision not to take on Natty on that challenge. All right.
I've got two more here. Yeah.
All right, go for it.
One's from Bill C., who's always having a bit of a whinge about things. He says, you lock up one Joe Ferrari, there are still tens of thousands of Joe Ferrari. Joe Ferrari can't be stopped. So basically having a bit of a hit at the Royal Thai Police and some alleged corruption there. And one more from AL 1965, who might be a person called Alan, born in 1965. What a load of rubbish, he says, or she says. Various studies in the last year have shown that C19 quickly disperses on hard surfaces, yet here we are again, causing hassle for businesses, forcing them to clean, clean, clean. Time to live with COVID-19, simply cannot hide away from it any longer. And a very quick one here from Lathan Jefferson, who said the channel should change its name from the Thaiger to the Snitch. Our owners want to feed their families and pay their rent. You exploit their doings for your own benefit. Good job, guys. Well, Lathan, let's be clear about this. We're just reporting what's happening out there. We're not snitching on bars. We didn't name any bars. We've tried our best to be fairly discreet about the matter. But at the end of the day, this is what's happening, and it's incumbent on us to report the news as accurately as we can. We're not like some other organisations that just tell a story that they think you want to hear or fits their agenda. We're basically just passing on what happened. So we showed that video that was sent to us in good faith and let you make a decision about what you think's going on. We're not snitching on anybody.
All right, and those are all the comments we have for today. Thank you, Tim, for joining us.
Thank you, Jay, for having me, and thank you, listeners and viewers, for watching and listening.
That's right, and you're going to be back in the studio tomorrow. Yeah,
I fly back to Bangkok tonight, everything being okay. We imagine the experience of flying at the moment is very easy. To fly domestically, you don't need to do any tests. You just need to present your COVID-19 vaccine certificate at the check-in. Otherwise, the experience is very simple, same as flying before COVID-19. So I hope it goes okay.
All right. We look forward to seeing you here at the studio tomorrow, Tim. Thank you to all the viewers. If you do have any comments, please leave them in the comment section below. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube shows, as well as Thaiger Talk Forum, or send in your videos at bites@thethaiger.com. We hope you've enjoyed the show once again, and we'll see you tomorrow.